Welcome back everyone to a new video, and in this video we're gonna talk about one specific record. It's one that I got in the mail last week and it has been on my wish list for ages, and it's a pretty rare record and pretty expensive, but I got it for a really good price and I'm so happy to finally add the record to my collection. Credo, paying for everything. I want to dedicate this video completely to this record and a little bit of the history on it, which we go into first. Credo was formed in 1990 and they disbanded in 1991 already. They've only released one record, and that is that one, Paying for Everything, from 1990. Interesting history, but the history goes beyond Credo itself. The band is from Russia and they started out as the band Magnet. Magnet was formed in 1986 and was a group of classically trained musicians forming a symphonic rock group together. Because of their classical background, some of the members were part of the regional Philharmony of Belgorod, if I'm correct. And after a few lineup changes, the musical direction of the group started to change in a more metallic direction, thus Magnet becoming a heavy metal band. First of all, I want to talk about the discography of Magnet a little bit before we go into the Credo record. And Magnet has released some records. Some records? Yes, some records. Because I don't know exactly how many records Magnet has released. Can't you just look that up? I'll explain it really quick. Also a little history on the heavy metal of Russia itself. Back when Magnet was formed was, like I said, in 1986, and you gotta remember that in 1986 Russia was still behind the Iron Curtain, and in fact Russia was still the Soviet Union, which we all know had a communist regime. Yes, very well. Why does that matter? They didn't really like hard and heavy music. It was a different situation from the other side of the Iron Curtain in the West, where a heavy metal band could be signed by a record label, get a record deal for, let's say, 3 full-length studio records. They release them, they record the records, release the records go into a record shop. That was not the case in the East, because like I said, heavy metal music was not really accepted in the communist Soviet regime. Record labels wouldn't really touch the bands, so they had to do most of the work themselves. So instead of those 3 official studio records from the band from the West, they had to do it all themselves. So they had all kind of recordings and could just call it a full-length studio record without officially being released as a full-length studio record. Mostly the stuff got recorded on reel-to-reel, which is also not a format like vinyl, which could be mass produced and mass distributed over time, because those are not really officially released records. These recordings were just self-recorded, self-released albums. It's possible that some of the stuff could be lost, could be forgotten. So that's why it's pretty hard to exactly find the right discography of Magnet. Now there are some things that you can find online which I consider as the basic discography of Magnet. Those are 3 records. First off is Slushai Rock from 1987, if I pronounce that right. Sorry if I don't. You can hear their symphonic rock background and their classical influences as well. It's a fine record, but the one I wanted to talk about more is their second record, Detective, also from 1987. This record is, I think, my favorite Magnet material. As you can see, I've probably put up a picture of the sleeve of the record somewhere over here, which is also one thing, is it's not the official sleeve of the record, because with the reel-to-reel format there was no cover. It was not like a vinyl. It was not like a vinyl cover with a vinyl in it. Anyway, Detective from 1987. My favorite Magnet material, especially the first song. It's the title song of the record, Detective. Great song, and I love the classical influences on here.
Предпочитаю детективы, где убийство, сыщик, версии, мотивы, шутки, замки, любовная интрига, обо всех страстях расскажет.
There's some more stuff on this record, which is great as well, like the third song, Osen. It's a slow-paced, ballad-like song, really nice. And there is some more stuff in there which is really cool, really classically influenced. Great record. I think it's up on YouTube as well as the first one, so you can check it out yourself. And the third record is Dies Irae, also known as Den Geneva, also known as the Day of Wrath. And this is in fact the only Magnet record that you can physically purchase, since this has a vinyl release. It says on the back, it's a little story in Russian. I think it's a little history about the band and whatever. But on this side we have the title list in Russia, and on the other side we have them in English, which is pretty nice. 7 songs on this record, and the reason I bought this record specifically is because of the first song, Work. It's not a fantastic record in general, but that song is just worth buying it alone for, because it's not an expensive record at all. You can get it for like 10 euros or something. You shouldn't really pay more for it anyway, but it's really worth it. It's a beautiful song, just under 8 minutes long, and it has fantastic keyboards, fantastic guitar work, fantastic guitar solos, melodies, everything. Love that song. It's absolutely fantastic. You should check it out. Some more of this record. The second song, We Exist Without Feeling Our Land Underneath. It's a slow song, slow paced, and it has a really dramatic feeling to it. It's pretty cool, but I don't really like the song that much. After that is an instrumental. Could have been better, I think, but it's fine. The B-side has some cool stuff on there as well, like the song Memorandum, which has a fantastic keyboard part in there. Yeah, it's a good album. The first song is fantastic. The rest of the album, it's fine. In 1989, Magnet split up, and they split up into 2 groups with the same name. Then some of the old members of Magnet decided to form a new band, and that is where we are with Credо. Like I said, they were formed in 1990. This record was also released in 1990, and they split up in 1991. Just like with the Magnet record, we have on the one side everything in Russia, and the other side everything in English. And I think this is also a little story in Russian. I can only guess. But we're gonna dive into this record a little more now. The first song is the title song of the record, Paying for Everything. And just listening to this song gives you a good impression of what this record has to offer. It starts off with a classical intro then kicks off with a metal guitar riff, and it has a really catchy chorus, and in between parts there are classical solos, guitar and keyboard as well. Fantastic song. Love the classical influences here. Second song is called Loneliness and Einsamkeit, which is German for loneliness. And that's because this song starts off with a German poetry called Einsamkeit, loneliness. I think intros like that are pretty obnoxious and annoying. I don't really like it. But it's a really nice song. It's a ballad, and it's a beautiful ballad, so it's worth listening through, I think. If you listen to this online, you can just skip that part. It's not really, doesn't really add anything to it. But it's a beautiful song, so don't miss it out just because of the long intro. On here as well are two instrumental songs in the style of Gaetano Pugnani, right, and Remembering G. Fresco Baldo, which are both classical influenced instrumental songs with a touch of heavy metal, and those two instrumental songs are fantastic, I think, and that's because of the classical influence on there. It's kind of silly to say, but this record really gives me a winter Christmas feeling, and that is especially to me on those two instrumental songs. It's really the keyboard and piano parts which gives it a Christmas kind of feeling to me. I guess I'll play a clip so you can kind of hear what I mean. Yeah, I don't know if it sounds silly, but this really gives me a Christmas vibe. Forgive If You Can, Russia. It's an 8-minute long song, and it's really epic, filled with nice guitar solos, guitar parts. Really uplifting and epic atmosphere on this song. I Let You Go really takes it down a little more, but it's a really nice song with memorable hooks on it. Overall, I would give this record a 8.5 or 9, something like that. It's a fantastic record, and if you don't know this one, then I highly recommend you check it out, especially if you've never really heard Russian music or heavy metal combined with classical music. Then I highly recommend you check this record out because it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning, I'm so happy that I can finally cross this one off my want list, because it has been on there for years, and that's why I wanted to make this video with you, just to share it. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a like, leave a comment, I'll read all of them. Thank you guys for watching, and I hopefully see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.